Hello everybody. Today we are going to interview each other. So first of all, Ramon is going to interview me, and after that I'm going to interview him. Hello Ramon.
Hello Anna, how are you?
Fine.
Good. So if you remember, 3 years ago, or 4, I don't know, we read a novel called The Great Gatsby, which was awesome. Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember the novel.
So now,
about the Roaring Twenties.
Yeah, I would like to ask you some questions for the academic English activity.
Okay.
Good. So the first question I would like to ask you is that if you remember in the novel there were two love triangles, okay?
Yes.
And I would like to ask you which kind of love do you think that we can find in the Roaring Twenties society?
Okay, as you said, there are two love triangles, and I think that both love triangles are related to material love. They don't feel the emotions and all the features that novels of love have. So I think they are considered not love stories, but stories about the society of the Roaring Twenties. Okay, I think that the first love triangle is about Tom, Daisy, and Gatsby, and the three of them, they are very rich. Okay, so Daisy, first of all, she's married with Tom, and she's very stable with him because she has whatever she wants. On the other side, she broke up with Gatsby years ago when they were young, because he was a military, or he was in the army or something like that. And what happened is that he was poor. So what she wanted then is what she has in the novel now, in the present time. And Gatsby, he was trying to recover her love, doing as much money as he could. And finally he could find her, but she was married and she was stable. And I think that he was trying to show off what he had got in all this time. And in the other side, we have the love triangle of Myrtle, William, so is her husband, and then Tom, who is the richest of the three. Yeah. And what this woman wants is to have as many things that she can get from this man, because she's poor and she lives in a small house. She has a very lower rent. So what she wants is to have money from someone that after the day, at the end of the day, she doesn't have to say, she doesn't need to take into account, because what she has is another husband. So she only wants the material world that Tom can provide to her. Okay?
I understand. Yes. Apart from this, do you think that Daisy really loves anyone, or she only takes advantage of them because of their wealth?
Yeah, I think that she's taking advantage all the time. What she wants is to be rich and to have all things, dresses, parties, jewels, and a good life for her. Yes, she doesn't want to work, or neither she wants to spend time with sons or daughters. So what she has is a perfect life, surrounded by housekeepers and with people taking care of her. And she's what she's got with Tom. And what she wanted to find is the true love with Gatsby, but finally I think that she realized that what Gatsby has and what Gatsby can give to her she already has this with Tom. So I think that she's always taking advantage of by herself, and it's only for her own. You see, it's only for her life. Yes.
I understand. Great. And finally, do you consider that The Great Gatsby is merely a love story or a satire?
Yeah, of course, I think it's a satire because love stories tend to have a good end, a good ending. Now, normally, it's because if the Gatsby is the protagonist and the main character in this novel, it would be the normal thing that Gatsby and Daisy they were together at the end of the film, and that's not the end. And I think all the novel is related with the bootlegging, the wealthy part of American dream, and the poorest part. So I think it's a satire of the Roaring Twenties, the American dream, and what you want to and what they want to show with this novel is that the Roaring Twenties weren't the best place to find the American dream. Instead of saying all the time that you can get your American dream, come here and you will become very rich. That wasn't the way, because Nick, the narrator of the novel, he came to New York trying to get this and to achieve all the American dream, but finally he just skipped and he went away. So I think it's a totally satire.
Right. So I think you also wanted to ask me some questions.
Yes, of
but
course.
It will have to be very quick because we're nearly out of time.
Well, I think that we can talk again about Great Gatsby because I want to know your version. So I have some questions for you, and the first one is: do you consider that The Great Gatsby portrays the situation of the American period known as the Roaring Twenties correctly? You see?
Okay. Well, yes, I think that The Great Gatsby is a novel that portrays very well the period of the Roaring Twenties. Because, well, it was a period of economic expansion for American society, in which, the economy skyrocketed and there were lots of new riches. As we said, we have the archetype of the classic rich, which would be Rochester, I think it's called, or
Tom,
which would be he comes from a rich family and from a Nisaga, we would say in Catalan, from a rich family, and we have the new riches as Gatsby would be a new rich, or the narrator that is also poor and tries to become rich through the American dream, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that this would be the way as this novel portrays the Roaring Twenties and the concept of the American dream. Yes.
Yes, of course. Okay, so the second one is: do you think that The Great Gatsby provides a positive or a negative vision of the period known as the Roaring Twenties and the concept of the American dream?
Yes. Well, I think that this novel in some way tries to deconstruct the concept of the American dream and the American liberal society. In some ways, it portrays the American liberal society as a materialistic society in which people only care about money and only care about having huge amounts of money without considering any moral issues or anything. They just care about becoming very rich and enjoying of having a lot of money.
Yes.
And yes.
So the positive one?
Yeah, and in some way it portrays the American society very negatively, and the American dream consequently. Yes. Okay. The concept of the American dream consequently.
Okay. So for you, this concept is more negative.
I think, not from my point of view, but I think that the author of the novel portrays the American society, the American liberal society, and the American dream in a negative way. I think it tries to, the author of the novel, not me, I don't have an opinion about this, but the author of the novel tries to deconstruct American liberal society and the concept of the American thing and portrays it as something negative, yes.
Okay. Yes. So finally, Ramon, do you think that money has an influence in the emotional relationships of this novel?
Yes, I would say that in this novel the author tries to portray the American society as a society of materialistic people that have been educated or raised through this liberal ideology that makes the people want to have a lot of money without any moral considerations, but gathering as much money as possible to feel richer than the others and more powerful and benefiting from being in a higher social position. Yes.
Okay. Yes. So thank you for your answers.
Thank you too for your questions and your answers too.
Okay.
And
that's
we will see each other in the second version.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.